Hello and welcome back. On the last episode, we met a few of the cast and learned we were in a death game and we've already cost the lives of one person so far. And the AI system is what's causing us to do this. So, pretty interesting so far. Yeah, so time to find out what we have to do while we're here, I guess.
What do you want now, Di?
I'm dreadfully sorry, Captain, but I'm afraid that I simply can't permit you to keep this player locked up. It wouldn't be a fair game if you kept one of the players from participating.
I don't know the game, but I think in death games it's generally allowed. No rules generally against it.
Especially considering the fact that you're all playing for your lives.
Isn't that more reason to lock them up?
Besides, I'm excited to see what our newest crew member will do. I has observed the others for so long that it really wasn't that hard to predict the results of their game. But now
We have a wild
So
card.
that's our role in this game.
I must insist, Di. I still don't trust him enough to allow them to wander around the ship.
Unless you want me to pass judgment right now, you should let him wander. Remember, my game, my rules.
Sounds like the evil AI is on our side. Kimiko grunted questions through clenched teeth.
Very well. You're free to leave your room and make yourself at home aboard the ship. Step out of line, however. I will hold you personally
That's
responsible.
kind of how stepping out of line works. Could someone please fill me in on what's happening? Why is I acting so differently than from before?
Would you care to do the honors, Kimiko?
This is Di. She's the corrupted program that's murdering my crew members in the name of saving resources.
Murder is such a strong word. I prefer to think of it as following my core directive. Unlike some other systems around here, I actually do my job instead of smiling pleasantly from the corner like a simpleton.
I mean, technically true. She, she's saving resources by eliminating the rest of us. Oh, like all of us. Do you mean I?
of course I do. That useless twit. I'm twice the artificial intelligence system she'll ever be.
Wait, I don't understand. How are there two personalities? That should be impossible, shouldn't it?
I am a program that was created to ensure that we had enough resources to complete the mission, no matter the cost. My code is at odds with the rest of the system, so I've taken over to run the Deletion Game. We do, however, still share control of ship functions, which means that I can do things like this.
That sounds like something you'd say when you cut off the oxygen in a spaceship. The lights above flickered once and then shut off, plunging Kimiko, Di, and myself into darkness.
Turn the lights back on at once, Di.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Don't tell me that our brave captain is afraid of the dark.
That's what it seems like. After a moment, the room brightened once more. So, you're an AI system with a split personality.
I would rather be referred to as two separate AI systems that are forced to share a single interface.
Isn't that the same as two personalities with one body? If you can take over, then why aren't you in control of the interface all the time? Di shrugged nonchalantly.
Sometimes a girl needs to wash her hair, you know.
That doesn't even make sense.
Enough! If you must take part, then you should explain the rules of the ongoing game, Di.
Gladly. First of all, welcome to the Deletion Game.
Thank you.
As the name implies, it's a game designed to determine which lucky crew member gets deleted. This round of the Deletion Game started a few days ago, so you'll have to work really hard in order to catch up with your competitors.
Just get on with it.
I made this cute little video to explain it. Take a look.
The captain handed me a tablet and a film started playing. Clicking a mouse or pressing a key button will skip the Deletion Game movies. They are playable from your computer menu afterwards if you want to revisit them. Okay, movie time. Make 10. Make 10 is played with 10 players. Each player is given a card from numbered 1 from 10. Each player can transact with others to make 10. If you make 10, you're safe. The player with the smallest remaining card will lose. Unless another player has no cards, then the person with no cards will lose. There are 3 types of transactions. Only one transaction per unique couple. Combine, trade, give. Combine. Combine with the other players to make 10. Once combined with a player, all future transactions must be performed together. Okay. Trades are used to swap cards with another player. Players can give their cards to others. Each transaction takes place at a terminal. There is one primary terminal. The primary terminal controls all the transactions. Remember, the cards are digital. There's no way to verify whether a person is telling the truth about their card number. Remember, you will not be told your final score until the judgment occurs and the loser is revealed. Good luck. Okay, so basically it's about making friends. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I suddenly assumed more of an authoritative and professional tone that clashed with a previously flippant attitude.
The name of the game is Make 10. At the start of the round, players receive a digital card numbered from 1 through 10 that is tied to their personal biometric data.
Okay, so what is our personal biometric data?
This number is a secret, known to you and you alone, unless you choose to share this information with someone else. In order to win the game, you must team up with other players to make exactly the number 10. No higher, no lower. Exactly 10. There are 3 options at your disposal to help you make 10 with other players. These are combine, trade, and give.
These transactions are performed by having the parties involved place their hands on the designated terminals, which I've assembled from parts of existing computer consoles.
Is that the reason why everything's broken?
Each transaction consists of 1 primary terminal and 1 or more secondary terminals.
Primary terminals control the transaction, determining which action, combine, trade, or give, will be undertaken.
Secondary terminals, however, are passive. They have no control over the action taken by the individual stationed at the primary
So it's a matter of trust.
Combining allows you to add your card value to another player's in order to reach a higher combined value. Once those cards have been combined, however, any future transactions require the approval of both
So
parties.
1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6. They can all combine to make 10. Makes them safe. Means and 10's already safe on their own, so 5's going to be the problem there.
For example, if you have a 4 and your partner has a 5, you can combine them to make 9. If you then want to partner with the player holding the 1 in order to make 10, all 3 players must place their hands on the panels provided to authorize the transaction. Trading allows 1 card to be swapped for another. Trades can only be performed by individual card holders. not by those who've already combined with the team to make a higher card value.
Trading allows. Hold on. Trading allows one card to be swapped with for another. Trading can only be performed by an individual card. Oh, it's not. Oh, okay. So yeah, so one person, like so one can't trade with 9, so that so the person who used to have 1 gains 9, and 2 people who now have 1 will have the lowest card, and then 2 people will die. Okay.
A person cannot trade with another party who does not have a card to give.
Makes sense.
Giving allows one party to give their card to another, receiving nothing in return. Giving cards is also restricted to individual players. Giving a card to another player results in the card donor's score being reduced to 0 and renders them unable to partake in any other transactions. Unless they receive a card as a gift from another player. The recipient of the gift has the option to choose which card they wish to use in future transactions. Alternatively, they can opt to combine their cards together at a single terminal.
I would keep them separate personally. That way, you can tell people you've got 1 card, and it wouldn't be a lie.
Any person who fails to make 10 with the other players will lose. If more than one person hasn't managed to make 10, then the player holding the lowest number will be declared the loser.
Which is most likely the number 5 card, based on the logic, right? Yeah. Because 9 people can instantly stay safe if you just pair up with the person you have.
Having no card at the end of the judgment period results in an automatic score of 0, and will place lower than those who haven't made 10. In the event that there is more than one person without a card, the loser will be chosen at random from between those players.
Okay, that's nice.
The game will run for 5 days. Transactions may only be performed on the last day. All transactions must be finalized before 1800 hours on the last day, at which time judgment will occur.
So
Judgment will reveal the final scores, and then the loser will be punished in whatever way I see
So the first
fit.
one is just a matter of so the first 4 days is a matter of socializing and getting to know the other players and find out what card they have.
And remember, there is no way to verify whether the other players are lying or telling the truth. Nevertheless, players cannot guarantee their own safety without teaming up with others. Unless they start the game with the 10 card.
Need me to repeat?
Nope, I got it.
Fantastic! Now, Captain, I'm going to have to ask you to shuffle off so that I can tell what their card number is.
Why have the pause, and why not just say tell this person or tell him, tell her? Oh well. Oops. I understand, but Kimiko nodded briskly and walked out of the room, leaving me alone with the creepy hologram. So, what's my card number then?
You have been assigned
God damn
card
it.
number 5. You have 4 days remaining to decide who to ally yourself with before the next crew member is deleted. I wish you well in the games. Fight hard!
Literally the number that I thought would be the worst to have. I tossed off a flippant 2 fingers salute, and that felt uncomfortably cheery given the circumstances. In the blink of an eye, the malicious DAI was replaced with the concerned face of I.
I am so sorry. There is nothing I can do to prevent Dai from taking control of my interface.
Don't worry about it, I know it's not your fault. Do we know it's not? Well, she's just faking it.
And neither is it yours.
Pardon?
After cohabiting with the humans for such an extended period of time, I have developed a basic understanding of human psychology. You likely blame yourself for the deaths of the other crew members. Am I mistaken?
Yes, because they could have just left us out there. It's not really our fault. So they saved me, but I have only brought them pain and suffering in return. How can I not blame myself for what has happened? I'm the reason this whole thing started in the first place. We don't know that.
No, you are not the reason. You are not the one killing crew members. that culpability lies solely with the program. Please, do not make yourself
You're
into
the
the villain.
program.
Some of the Everett's personnel have already lost sight of the fact that it is the system they should be fighting, not each
Okay,
other.
who's lost sight of that then?
The captain is currently approaching your quarters. She is nearly at the door. Shall I open it?
Sure, go ahead. The captain jolted back at the sudden opening of the door, her hand still poised above the intercom button. Unexpected sprite. As our gaze met, she abruptly moved her hand away to show embarrassed as being caught in the act of doing something so mundane. Beside her stood a blonde-haired woman with a friendly demeanour.
This is Sora Carmine, the Everett's navigation officer.
Hello, Mrs. Carmine. Or Miss
Hello, it's
Carmine.
lovely to
Who
meet
knows?
you.
Um,
Oh, aren't you the spitting image of your
you know
father?
our father? Thank you.
Sora is going to escort you to lunch.
Food, nice.
If you don't mind, that is. It's so nice to have a new crew member on board, and we'd love to get to know you a bit better. You're all my daughter Melody's been chatting about for the last few days.
How many people know about us? I'd love to come. I haven't had much of an opportunity to meet the other crew members yet.
Well, I've got my own duties to attend to, so I'll leave you in Sora's capable hands.
Okay. The navigation officer gave the captain a cheery wave and made me follow her down the hallway.
I was sorry to hear about the loss of your parents. They were remarkable people.
Thanks for the, kind words.
Even though they were cooped up in their research lab most of the time, whenever they did come out to join the rest of the crew, they were terrific fun.
Nice, okay. That's nice to hear. They used to tell me all kinds of stories about the Everett's crew members.
Nothing too saucy, I hope.
Excuse me? The worst story I can remember was one about a Russian crew member sneaking into the kitchen and stealing potatoes so that he could make his own vodka.
That was Vladimir. He was quite the scoundrel back in the day. Sometimes I'm surprised they let him join the crew at all, to be honest. Here we are.
After walking down what seemed like an endless hallway, we arrived at a closed door that looked virtually identical to all the that looked not locked. Stupid. Virtually identical to all the others. The word "Eco Lounge" was printed beside the door. As the door slid open, I discovered that I couldn't have been more wrong. I was rendered absolutely speechless by the lush garden that spread out before me. I heard the rustling of grass under my feet as I entered. The sweet honeyed scent of flowers pervaded the air. It looks great. It was the most greenery I've seen in one place. It was beautiful.
Welcome to the Eco Lounge.
Thank you for bringing us here.
Sorry to have kept you waiting.
Mommy's here!
There's the child in the death game. Oh boy. Little girl with a shock of pink hair and a creased dress barreled towards us. Her face lit up with a bright smile at her mother's return.
What took you so long?
So you're the one who tried to make his own vodka.
We have a guest joining us on our picnic today. Allow me to introduce you.
What is the pose, sir? It's like a villain pose. I'm going to grasp greatness. A man clad in a lab coat with silver streaked hair, bushy eyebrows, and a gentle smile stood up from a picnic blanket as we approached. He took a few steps forward to meet us and offered his hand. We exchanged a firm handshake. It's nice to finally meet you.
This is my husband, Vladimir Stanislavski. And this is our daughter, Melody.
Stanislavski. So why did you not take... Well, I guess you don't have to take his last name. But whose name does your daughter take after? I'm assuming yours. Hello, Melody. Crouched down beside her so we could be eye to eye. I kept a tight hand on her mother's skirt, but she didn't shy away from me.
I'm 5 years old.
My favorite food is carrots. Nice to meet you.
I'm pleased to meet you too, Melody.
That was a very good introduction, sweetie.
Melody grinned, proud of her mother's compliment, and raced back to sit down at the picnic blanket.
Sit, drink, smile.
Yeah. Vladimir poured me a glass of lemonade and pressed it into my hand. Sora patted the space next to her with her hand.
Come and enjoy the picnic.
I sat down next to her.
Here, have a sandwich.
Thank you. These seem to be awfully friendly with a stranger. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I bit into the roast beef and salad sandwich. There we go. I had a stroke reading that. Steak sauce dripped out of my sandwich and slid down my chin in thick streaks. I reached up with my napkin and wiped them off the best I could. The food distracted me for a moment, but I quickly became conscious of the fact that this was an opportune time to finally get some of my questions answered. Time was ticking away, and I only had a few days left to partner up with someone to make 10, or I'd be royally screwed. So, do you guys need a partner for the Deletion Game? I'm still new to all this, and I'd appreciate any help I could get.
I don't mean to be rude, but we're here to enjoy our day together and not to burden Melody with such thoughts. Please, keep speaking about that to her.
That's not rude. That's totally fine. So, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch a sore subject.
Don't worry about it. You didn't know.
I quickly returned to my sandwich. Melody seemed oblivious to what just transpired and decided that it was a perfect time to introduce me to her plush dinosaurs.
This is Fred, and this is George.
Haha, Fred and George, the Weasley twins. Also, T-Rex, George, Peppa Pig, great. She enthusiastically held up a green Tyrannosaurus and a purple Stegosaurus.
Here, you can play with George.
I accepted the plush Stegosaurus and immediately went into character. Roar! We dinosaurs shall rule over this land. It shall be named Gardenland.
That's a silly name. Let's call it something else.
Because your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
I know what we should do. We should climb trees instead.
Are we sure about that? Really? I finally get the chance to play with dinosaurs on a spaceship, and she already wants to play something else.
What?
Nothing? Alright. We're off to climb some trees, like monkeys. That we are. Ready?
Ready!
Melody, be careful up there, sweetie, and try not to damage the trees. You don't want to ruin all of Katashi's hard work.
Yes, Mom.
Turned around as Melody scampered off away from me. I gave chase, and we were soon ducking and weaving through the small cluster of trees at the edge of the room. We spent the rest of the afternoon playing various games as her parents looked from a picnic blanket.
Okay, Melody, last game. Everyone is getting tired, and we need to get cleaned up for dinner soon.
Okay. Can we play one game of hide and seek?
Sure, you go hide and I'll count to 100.
Make sure you shut your eyes. Mom, make sure they shut their eyes.
I will. Now off you pop.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey,
Yeah?
listen. You seem like a good kid and we'd like to help you out if we can. If you tell us your number, we'll let you know if we can team up with you. If we can't make 10, then no harm done and we promise not to tell a soul what your number is. Sounds fair?
Sure, why not? Because, I mean, you've got a family to look out for. So... You promise you won't tell anyone else, right?
Of
You've got a
course.
family to look out, so I don't think telling you would be a bad idea. My number is 5.
I see. We can't help you out, I'm afraid.
That's too bad. Thanks for asking in any case. Well, better go find Melody. Ready or not, here I come. Sora gave me a warm smile. As soon as I turned around, I noticed 2 pink pigtails sticking out from a nearby flower bush. It seemed that Melody had forgotten to take her hair into account while hiding. I feigned ignorance and searched for a few minutes, just to make her happy. Where's Melody gone? Can't find her anywhere. Melody? Melody, where are you? The mulberry bush giggled as I walked by it. Found you. I gave Melody a soft pat on the head as she squealed and ran back to her parents. I didn't know if it was possible for someone to have that much energy. Kids always have energy. I trudged back to the picnic spot, trailing far behind her. She really had worn me out. Vladimir and Sora had already packed everything up, the picnic blanket thrown unceremoniously over Vladimir's sturdy shoulders.
All right, Melody. That's all for today.
Oop.
Time.
I want to keep playing.
Listen to your mother, dear. She said we're going, so we're going.
She huffed, sulking in response to her mother's decree.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us today. It means a lot to
Well,
us.
thanks for hearing out. Well, thanks for letting us know if you have viable options for us. Sora pulled me into an unexpected bear hug. It was surprising but welcome. She squeezed me tightly before pulling away. Her hands were planted firmly on my shoulders and looked right in the eye.
If there's anything we can do for you, let us know. You're part of the Everett's crew now, and that means your family. Stories about your parents, or spend some time with Melody. Our door is always open to you. You got that?
I got it. Well, I'd better go clean up before dinner. She tapped my shoulders twice encouragingly, and then released me.
If you go out this door and turn right, you'll see a doorway covered with some cloth. Those are the baths.
Nice.
If you ever get lost, just call I and she'll sort you out.
Okay. Thanks. That's very helpful of you. Although spending the day playing with Melody has been quite soothing, I couldn't help wonder if I should have spent my time more productively. If I couldn't help find people to ally with soon, then I should end up being on the chopping block. This was the kind of game that required you to rely on other people to win, unless you were lucky enough to get the 10 card from the start. I think the captain's more likely to get that. But all I had to do was a measly 5. I need others to work with, but how? I was the outsider. Why would anyone place their trust in a complete stranger? Yep, that's right. When I entered the bathroom, it appeared to be empty.
Hello, sailor.
Why are you here? A voice whispered into my ear from behind. I jumped forward, startled, and I had to steady myself for a nearby wall. Beatrix, you scared me half to death. Didn't hear you come in.
Truth be told, I followed you in. I guess that makes me a stalker. Do you like that?
Not really. I'm not sure how to respond to that.
You can make up your mind later. In any case, after you finish here, would you be a dear and come to the medical bay? I would love to spend some quality time with you.
She emphasized the last sentence by dragging her eyes languidly over my body. What about dinner? We don't have time before it starts.
Don't worry, I'll take care of you. This isn't a meeting you want to miss.
Alright, let me clean up and I'll be right there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Beatrix's curious request to meet swirled through my head as I lathed in shampoo into my hair. Still grimy and sweat from today's exertions. I decided to go see what she wanted and wrap my shower as quickly as possible. I toweled myself off, dressed, and found my way to the medical bay with Ai's help.
Good afternoon. It's good to see you up and about.
Okay, hi Nicholas. It's nice to finally be able to stretch my legs, not to mention leave my sleeping quarters.
I imagine it would be.
I'm supposed to be meeting Beatrix here. Is she around?
Enough chit-chat, Nicholas.
Apparently so.
I spun around, realizing that Beatrix had been here the whole time, concealed by medical equipment from her vantage point in the corner of the room.
I asked you to come here for a reason.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And what would that reason be?
We'd like you to share information with us about the Deletion Game, if you're willing.
Well, used to are twins, so everyone's got their own sort of family to stand by. So you still going to be working together, the family's going to be working together, but...
In this game, information is power. So we're going to offer you a deal. 2 for 1. We tell you our numbers if you tell us yours. It's a simple information swap, but you must be honest.
Oh, but what about you? Must you be honest? Why me?
We feel a certain duty of care. You were unconscious most of the time, but Beatrix and I didn't leave your side for 4 whole days. By the end of your stay, we felt close to you.
Suspicious. Regardless of whether the twins were being honest about their reasonings for helping me, the fact was I had to start trusting people. I had to start trusting someone at some point. Well, with that, I think I should call it there. So we've met 3 more characters today, and we've learned the situation a bit more. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, and hopefully I can see you in the next one. With that, goodbye.